The minion that definitely can just fall to the cycle of Wukong in general. It's jumping where Wukong definitely is a decent kill pressure. It will just be TP flash for both top laners, so the traditional approach, so to say. So maybe not that much in the 1v1 department, but either way, triple TP by the side of Cerberus, I just gotta see, against 1 TP by the side of Team Secret. Maybe that's one way to really have some macro map movement going on later into the game. Overall, scaling wise, I would say it looks kind of okay for Cerberus, but this Diana Yasuo comp you cannot ever count out. I mean, as soon as Yasuo has one item, you can basically just fear the one shot because it is just such an easy tool to work with for the side of Team Secret. And they are the team with the Tahm Kench, so they have the better security on their side. It's very hard to play into Penguin here. If Penguin is a good game, this looks very, very doomed for Cerberus.
And I'm just looking currently at, again, seeing the Grasp of the Undying coming out for the Mini now, which is bit of an unusual pick. We normally see the Fleet Footwork, which provides a little bit more healing when in that range form compared to that of the Grasp. But we're seeing Poss in lane and Hero perhaps trying to make his way up. No, not going to start off with the aggressive trading and passive stacking, but so just going to be a nice sort of trade-off. And I think this can provide a little bit of early pressure for the side of Leash to pushing lanes you'd expect from the solos. That could make a rush to level 6 quite effective from the side of the Nocturne.
And gotta say, this time Cerberus has a team that is a lot of more early agency, I would say. Xayah Rakan, while they have not been like the most priority bot lane, they are bot lane that definitely can go for 2v2 kills. Also, if you can manage to gobble up the Tahm Kench in the Grand Entrance, you can easily chunk him out, even if he is such a tanky catfish, so to say. But if you manage to get an early lead, you can definitely make something work in the mid game. And also the other picks this time were quite better. The Mega Knight in this Drake teamfight is absolutely detrimental, can do a lot of wonders. And Nocturne, while not really having an easy target, I mean, you can at least somewhat pressure the center. But this time it looks like there's a 2v2 coming up by the side of Secret.
Beautiful knockup from the side of Suhao, interrupting the battle dance from the side of the Rakan, blocking that E and doing a lot of work. It's a good trade coming out overall. Suhao will be fairly happy to regen that over time, and potions already popped and forced from the side of Artemis is great to see.
That is great to see, and also the CS department, because you have to compare the Tahm Kench CS lead against what Artemis really brings into his table, and he hasn't really accelerated that much in this department, not at all, so to say, as the wave is pushing into the Tahm Kench. So right now, Juhao doing more than fine against Artemis, and we see in the top lane, Poss getting kind of low, the wave also being in, but no way to dive this, especially not with Leash being so much in the vicinity of this top lane turret. Both junglers, however, might just fight over the Scuttle Crab, and it's looking like that Leash has to give it up as Poss is pushed under the turret.
Hero gonna have that first move, but he's aggressing he's pushing very hard into it, but that fear's gonna come out. Hero is he's probably gonna lose out over here, but he actually gets the kill and flashes away. No blue buff to assist. He's gonna bring that closer to Penguin so Penguin can pick that up as well. Bit of a reset, but easy win. Look, Hero's just better apparently. Just outplayed.
Also, Leash also, I think he hit once against the clone there, so it was kind of unfortunate
that regard.
Not really using his flash.
Cuba is going to be able to get away, so a bit of an overextension, but just fine. This looked really bad for Hero.
It definitely did, but Wukong in this 1v1 fight is definitely hard to play against. He actually didn't hit the clone at the wrong time, it was just his AoE splash ability, and it was still not enough. He actually heals more if he also hits the clone, so he basically play it as good as he could. Maybe flash away from the clone so you don't get these auto attacks from the clone as well. But even then, I think Leash just loses it. And it's just Poss losing the priority and Hero moving in at the right time and getting the kill. So very much again a rough early game for the side of Leash.
Blue buff also chipping in, working for the Team Secret. Wanted more blood, of course, but Hero flashing away from the blue buff killing spree. That's what we were after. But it's fine. It's all good. It's a good advantage for side of Team Secret. They are off to a fantastic start. Double crab, blue buff steal away as well. Kill for Hero. It's all looking great for Team Secret, who have kind of had a couple of struggles in terms of their early game, and come alive in mid. But in the game where they have the scaling composition for once, perhaps they're actually coming out fine in the early game.
And especially Penguin, right? On the Diana, the first few levels, he can basically just power farm and he can do that very quickly, but he's not really a skirmisher before level 6, and so far, he's level 5. A huge amount of CS ahead against Lee, who has, of course, been struggling just because he just died to hero just now, and Diana, in the meantime, could just farm the jungle on her own, getting both scuttles as you said, because getting all these buffs ahead of herself, and Penguin, very soon to hit level 6, can then start to make his own move. And the point of time where Diana is really weak is kind of already over. So Leech kind of has to work with his level 6 power spike if he happens to find it.
Hoss just sort of walking into Penguin, and Leash is here to convert, so Hero will have to respond as well, but Poss is lower than Penguin, and here comes Artifact to convert as well, and that's just going to be an easy pass down. Leash has nowhere else to go. That spell shield will save him from the knock-up, which lets him flash away. That's another kill onto Artifact. That's another assist onto the top side. And what small advantage Poss is able to garner from that time spent away by Hero is, yeah, it's gone.
It's basically gone. And Cerberus, I think they know that they have to force something, so they try to catch Penguin while he's still not level 6 yet. Go for this aggressive no priority. And wait, here we see Yado pushing up the roof.
Oh, here it is, the ultimate to bring Artifact out from under the tower, but Hugh is in place to keep him safe. Now Eddie here, can he bail Penguin out? He does not have the heal quite yet, but guess what? He has a catch, keeps Penguin alive just long enough. Yado will take him down eventually on the dash away. The Shurima shuffle is good, gets him to safety. And it's a 2-for-1 overall in that extended trade. Good clap back from the side of Cerberus.
And especially Yado getting the Emperor's Divide to get Artifact under the turret. He can't blink away to use the Diana Yasuo comp.
As Suhao moves onto Artemis, the tongue lick goes onto the Khan, so Artemis gets to move away. Only the ultimate expended. But both summons down for the Rakan, I suppose, were probably blown in the mid lane. Never mind all that.
Yeah, here we see the mid lane play again, as I wanted to talk about anyway, so it's kind of fine. Here we see how he uses Emperor's Divide to get Yasuo under the turret, but here Penguin kind of bails him out, goes for the Moonfall, so Artifact can blink away to Yado again, but Yado still, after the flash, can manage to keep auto-attacking with his Sand Soldiers, deals a lot of damage to Artifact, manages to kill him, and even with Eddie arriving and Leash just going full pedal to the metal twice to get Penguin, that's not managed to get him because she was also there, but Yado finishes another kill, goes for the banana shuffle, and then just gets out himself again, and Yado saving that play, which would have otherwise been a disaster for the side of Cerberus, if it hasn't been already, right? They are down as an early game comp, 1k in the mid game, and we see them really trying to find openings. They really forcefully try to go for something, but aside from that play just now that Yado just kind of carried, it has been looking very good for Secret.
Luckily for the side of Cerberus, it is 2 kills onto the Azir, and Azir is always a bit of a beast come the late game. That damage does not go anywhere. Poss getting very hypey walking towards this Rift Herald. Does not seem worth it. And oh, he's overstepped as the Wombo comes through. Flash over the wall from here to pick that up, and just he stepped too far forward. He did not have that transformation anywhere nearby.
And I think even if he would have it, I think it wouldn't really mean much. There's so much damage coming up by Diana Yasuo. He would be Mega Knight, he could maybe stun into the wall once, but I see his Mega Knight also on cooldown, so not really anything he could do. And yeah, just tries to go for whatever. I have no idea what he's really going for.
Oh, but Azuhao is going for some tasty chicken. Had that railgun to assist, but Rakan comes in to help out Xayah. They are back together and keeping the frog at bay. Leash apparently also going in onto Eddie, forcing a flash there. So lots of faction across the map, but not resulting in a kill this time around.
I actually expected Leash to go to the bot lane and actually finish off the Tahm Kench, but apparently mid lane was a better business to do so, and also likely can't be in range for both those with the level 1 rank Paranoia ultimate, so forcing flash from Eddie, good for his side, and Artemis was very close to getting solo killed by this Tahm Kench very early on there. That was definitely something that is also not looking great for the side of Cerberus, and yeah. We said before they weren't really doing themselves any favors with that draft, as we just know. Oh, it's a picture-in-picture replay. Thank you very much, TV observers. And that's what I think. Yeah, they try to get Leash try to get Eddie there. And if the Dustbringer hits, Eddie just dies. So Eddie also doing very well in sidestepping that.
And he's staying very close, and a bit more trading coming out from Hero in this top side. And coming into a pretty decent position as here comes the gang wanting to make something happen onto boss. Rift Herald in pocket, going to drop that down. It was actually Eddie holding it, so they're guaranteed to pick up some gold, but they're going to share it all just nicely anyway. First tower, over to Secret.
Yeah, they will get the first tower. That is, of course, a very huge gold swing as they are down 2k gold already before it even fought. It will be even more right now. And this looks like a very doomed game for the side of Cerberus right now. They really need to fight Obelix. Maybe this is the one.
Oh, but this is going to be a pick onto Su Hao. He's not got much health left. Tongue Lash can bring him a little bit more. Maybe he can play out this a little bit, but the ult is there from Artemis. Keeps him safe. Tower is fine. But all that attention on the bot side means a second charge and a second tower. And that is so much gold into the pockets of Team Secret, and notably the Senna, who is
exactly
more than happy.
Cerberus took virtually half an hour to get the kill into Zhu Hao there because the time cannon is indeed very, very tanky. They get another plating in the bot lane as well, but the GP will deny them from taking the full turret. So yet again, another positive play by the side of Team Secret, getting 2 turrets in the top lane. Very huge Herald push coming out on their own, and I mean, Cerberus looks absolutely clueless right now. I mean, just Yano being very good in the game, Leash going for some plays that kind of work out, the bot lane having an uncharacteristically bad game yet again, I would always say. I mean, not as bad as the last game, but you get the point. And Pause, I mean, what he tried to do with this Rift Herald, I'm just absolutely baffled because he's not the one with the smite. I mean, maybe Leash could go for a flip steal, but what can Anar really do? Maybe if he luckily hits the eye of the Rift Herald, he can steal it, but that was completely out of the option, and he just gave away a free kill over there. So Cerberus overall look pretty disjointed.
Yeah, didn't even have that transformation as mentioned, so wasn't even looking for the big 5-man ultimate to set up his team or anything. So just the disconnect coming through from the top side of the map, and Cerberus gonna do what they can. They still have a bit of pressure in this bot side, but now they've swapped the roles around, and Eddie seems to be laning alongside Hero quite comfortably. Wants to keeps this Wukong safe, get him as farmed up as possible. And we've moved the Yasuo into a side lane. We're feeling very comfortable. We're feeling very good right now in that situation. Zhu Hao, of course, can roam.
They just spontaneously decided Zhu Hao to be a solo laner and just play Sender Wukong instead. I mean, why not? Just now it looks pretty fine for them. Tahm Kench cannot really take too much harass from the Azir. And
but here goes Hero. Easy knockup. Can absolutely kill where Tahm Kench perhaps could not, and can keep going. Huber has to flash away. Hero will keep running it down, and the railgun to finish it off. It is double kill for Team Secret's bot lane. Well, bot top lane. Funky lane. I don't know. Having fun. They were in the bot.
Keeps running it down. But it's actually Cerberus bot lane just running it down, let's be honest. I mean, that's just absolute grief what they're trying to do there. Just not respecting the center Wukong at all.
Oh, but Yano with the big sweeping Surima shuffle. Eddie is going to be saved by Su Hao, but that leaves the monkey to be scooped up and cut down. Pus just teleported for a little how you doing. But you know, he likes to feel involved, you know. But Artemis did not feel involved.
Yeah, he wanted to greet for the last plating auto attack, so he tries to get the chip in, but then just Wukong just collapses onto him, and he's just very surprised by that for whatever reason. And Huber, of course, just also dying to the damage combined from Wukong and the Dawning Shadow from Zelda, which is very hard to dodge in this instance, as he has to run away in a straight line. Here we see Yano trying to make the most out of it, getting this huge Emperor's Divide onto it, also finishing the kill off onto the Wukong. Is a huge shutdown for him, and very likely the gold goes onto him because this is as close to a literal 1v9 as it could go for the side of Yano. He's the only one doing well on the side of Cerberus.
Yeah, he's putting in a lot of work. He's already got that Leandri's under his belt and working very quickly towards that. Sonya's very much ahead of the curve, but he's kind of the only one, as the rest of his team are looking a little rough. No item for Na compared to a Divine Sundra and a Hex Drinker. You see, it's a little bit harder comparing the bot lanes, but there's a lot going on. Yeah. As Penguin just walks into 3, he's probably gonna fall down. But the knock up, the save, the ultimates, they all come through. It was all an elaborate ruse. Can Artemis get anything back? He can get a snare to walk away. Maybe he just has to flash over this wall, but that's not looking good if you can't even get Penguin in that situation.
They can't even kill a Diana when she's face-checking 3 people. That's how bad it goes right now. And just now also giving away another kill. Hubert just getting caught up in the Diana Yasuo engage, which is of course very easy to do so. One presses R, the other presses R, and it's boom dead. That's as easy as it goes. Second Herald now also getting over to the side of Team Secret, and I'm really struggling to find really any windows for the side of Cerberus here. It's basically just Yardo doing well, the rest doing pretty not so well. Stopwatch also, of course, buying some time. Huber going with the quickness, and he has a Moonfall into the last breath coming out from Artifact. Penguin himself gets the kill. It's actually a double kill as Leash also falls down in the whole trouble. And now that Diana also being snowballed. It is not the tank Diana build, which is kind of surprising to me, because usually you would maybe like to see the new build where she goes like Nashos, but then Demonic Embrace and Sunfire Cape to really do a lot of damage, but still being decently tanky. It is Rocket Belt into Zonia, so she's also a very huge direct damage carry on her own.
Big source of that AP threat. Pretty much the only magic damage of the team outside of a little bit from Tom Kench, but we don't really count the tank. And that means that, you know, any armor, any defensive stats that are going to be bought from the side of Cerberus are going to likely prioritize that armor, and that opens up so much extra damage for the side of Penguin. Yado is going to greed for this tower. Perhaps, no, he's going to slip away just in time, but he will not get that tower, so it's just a
Yado showing Artemis how it's done. Just not greed too much for the turret. Leave it a sliver of HP. Better than to die, especially with him likely giving away a huge shutdown if he would die, but I just see... Cerberus as a team is so behind that he doesn't give a shutdown while he's being 3-0. That's how bad it is right now. Either way, Yado just now with his Azir turret, farming a turret, farming some minions yet again. And maybe he can get this turret in the next wave. And credit where credit is due, Yado pulls a lot of pressure on the map for Team Secret. Otherwise, it would maybe collapse even further. But regardless of that, it's 5,000 gold at 17 minutes. Definitely a rough game for Cerberus so far. Maybe silver lining for them would be just get Artemis on 3 items, get Pos on the second item, and just maybe have one good team fight with a good catch. That could maybe work, but other than that, this is a very one-sided game so far.
Second Rift Tower going to be dropped and going to take out this middle tower. Teleport coming in from Yado may keep it alive, but in comes the knock-up. It's not enough. Yado is in so much trouble. The Emperor's Divide will buy a lot of time, and Yado is still alive. He is going to fall eventually, and Huber is on nothing. The health is still good from side of Team Secret. They are going to keep diving forward. They may not get someone else.
Mini.
Pass as he transforms Mini, and will they get a third? They are going to. Leash gets caught up by the Senna and falls down as well. Can they go for the ace? Can they get Artemis? He's just a bit.
Can they just end?
And that's a double kill to Leash as the tower does all the work.
Never mind.
That's going to kill the end option very, very quickly, but it's still a lot for the side of Cerberus, but maybe those kills back kind of a little dampener. Lucky for them, it went to Leash, I suppose.
Yeah, Leash definitely struggling with the family puppet. And I think if the Herald charge goes through and they actually get the tier 3 turret, those two don't die. They could maybe even actually push the Herald through to the Nexus turrets at least. But actually, they shouldn't go for this. I mean, it's just this Herald charge coming out. He will see the replay again. Emperor's Divide defensively, so Yado could actually get out. He actually buys quite some time in the aftermath of that, as he just now also still dies. But pause, this is a problem you love to talk about now, right? Now in the mini form cannot really teamfight at all in these situations where he's just getting collapsed upon. It's just like an AD carry but worse. And yeah, the third charge comes out, and now Team Secret gets a little bit too greedy, as I got in my caster call, and it's calling for them to end, and they get 4 kills, but now a lot of damage goes through with
look at that!
Kills through the turret. It's just
True
the turret
tower shots kill Eddie. From 100 to 0. It's that just goes to show tower damage is not to be snuffed at. It ramps up and it hurts a lot. But now that's 6 to 12 in kills as the scoreboard changes a little bit for us. Now we're just going to have to see 7k gold objective bounties are now available for the side of Team Cerberus rather. And they're just going to have to deal with something Baron coming up in half a minute. And that may be the signal for Team Secret to make the next play happen, as I feel they could probably do a lot of Baron damage real quickly with this. Pretty much triple AD carries, triple threat.
That's what they could do. I also think usually you'd advise against taking an inhibitor pre 20 minutes, but I think in this case it would have been fine if they happen to take it, just because you can instantly threaten the Baron. They just threaten the Baron anyway and don't even give super minutes to the side of Cerberus, which is of course also very fine for them, as there's basically no way in for Cerberus right now. I think it will just be Leash going for the paranoia, going for one maybe desperate fight, or maybe them just giving it up. Here he is.
Yes,
he gets it!
He gets it, he is going to fall, but that saves the whole game pretty much for them. Does mean there's going to be no jungler available, and Team Secret will probably have to settle for this Drake. But that is such a huge play from Leash.
Also, the objective bound is coming in. I mean, what's there really to replay? The replay also getting kind of off time. I mean, not trying to flame the observer too much here. Just him going into the paranoia, especially on top of him. You can just go for one button that is the smite button, just hit it at the right time, and you get the Baron yourself. Something where Team Secret has been a little bit off time. Maybe you could go for a damage step before, and so actually Leash is just in the pit awkwardly and cannot just really hit anything. That, of course, is some gold back into the pockets of Cerberus. Objective shotguns onto them, and they must have got some Baron buffs, right? I mean, they weren't really dead in this position. They were ready to fight it anyway. It's actually a decent Baron. He's on everyone but Leash. So they may be now in a position to stabilize at least for a few minutes. Gotta take the overall. The main takeaway is just that Team Secret didn't get the Baron. Because with that Baron, they could have broken away the base.
And with that earlier dragon taken at the start of the game, that means they still have a while towards that Mountain Soul. And that buys so much time for Cerberus. Can they get anything done with this Baron? Can they find a push, find a turret? Does not look like it. Going a little bit harder for that bit more of a harder objective to reach in that top lane tower. Maybe they're just setting up Death Bush, waiting for Artifact to overreach. But no, they're gonna commit to the backs. Take this mid lane tower. Seems like the next obvious point on the map. Try and utilize this Baron. Do something with it. It's just not.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see a full Baron empowered team just recalling before getting anything, but this is kind of the correct call. You could maybe go for this tier 2 turret, but you just always have to be afraid of a potential collapse coming up from Secret, so just easier to take those tier 1 turrets, even if it is in the mid lane. Maybe this is where they will be going for. 1 minute left onto the Baron timer, and they could maybe go for something. But I think with being so far down in gold, you could not even risk that, and this Baron will just gives them a few minutes to stabilize and a few minutes of Team Secret not having the Baron on their side. They also dropped the Drake regardless of that, and Cerberus at least have maybe some time to get items onto items, which is the main takeaway from that.
That's definitely 6 minutes where the Baron does not come into play. Now there might be a pos being taken out of the play. In comes the ultimate from Hero, followed up by the last breath. Pos will flash away. He will remain safe. Has the backup, and I guess the plus side to the Baron is the siege from Team Secret just does not exist. They can't push through the minions. They can't convert any of these plays into more tower damage. They also don't have a particularly long-range composition, so it's just more time off.
Senna on 80 souls, and it will only get worse from that. They just need to wait for Senna to get even more souls, I guess, to really get an easy siege going on. Beforehand, they just need to find a pick, and so far, over the course of the whole game, it looked decently, but these last few minutes have been played solidly by Cerberus, I would say. I mean, after getting this huge collapse onto the mid lane, they kind of recovered decently, considering what they really had to work with, and now Artemis is onto items, looking for the third one. If he gets the Infinity Edge as well, I think he could be a decent threat in the team, or if it goes for, I think Lord Dominic's could be another option for him, but I think it will be Infinity Edge to really have these high damage onto the squishy targets like the Yasuo, like the Senna, to really get it going. But let's wait and see how it will go.
Speaking of these items, I want to point out Eddie going for the Kraken Slayer. I love it. I do perhaps maybe want to see him start to take a bit more CS off the board for himself as it progresses, because this build should mean he's putting out a lot more damage and relying less on just being that sort of heal bot that sits on the backside and isn't really a big threat on his own, but this will make him a threat to be reckoned with at a distance, make his siege a little bit better, make his team fighting a little bit better. So I like to see this. It's a bit more of a diversion from the standard go eclipse every game and not do much.
It definitely helps to really fix the DPS problem if they happen to have one. Right now I think they don't have one either way, with Yasuo and Wukong just diving in, Diana going the full AP, but Kraken Slayer, of course, if the game goes longer, if the fight goes longer especially, it just does more than an Eclipse build would do. Eclipse a bit better, I would say, if you just happen to one-shot someone, or if you are really reliant on that shield and on that little bit of lifesteal it has. But Kraken Slayer definitely a build you can really work with so far, and this tier 2 turret might just fall, as Cerberus has nothing to really protect themselves against the potential engage from Secret there. Artemis is in the mid lane, he's just trying to farm, raise some XP over there. As Yado hits the third item, maybe Cerberus is slowly getting stronger. Right now, also no objective on the map to really fight for. So there's 1 minute left for Baron and Mountain Drake to take. And Team Secret definitely wants to establish some map control, establish some vision control on their way to it, as this will likely be the objective that they will prioritize.
Baron is going to be the next thing on the cards. Perhaps after the kerfuffle last time, they might want to move themselves and focus on Dragon first. But whatever they will do, they will definitely be trying to get an eye on Leash, try and make sure this Nocturne cannot do it again. Hero going over the wall, but cannot quite aggress as much as he would like. Lots of more souls going into the pockets of Senna. Would love to see a count on that. Have not really been following it and paying attention, but waiting for
Has been 80 recently. She should be like about 90 now.
Yeah, that's not bad. Possum about half health. Penguin on the wrong side of the map for the Dragon. Still not quite decided where they want to go. A bit more of a poke onto Eddie, traded with Yardo. Scuttle Crab going to the side of Cerberus. That will be good. But now Team Secret just controlling this mid lane, controlling this wave while Hero goes and sneaks away the Dragon. Does Cerberus want to turn this straight onto the Baron?
Looks like they will.
There's a ward in the pit. They're going to have to take it down, but it's just a bit late.
And Post does not hurt Mini, so he cannot really teamfight if there would be a collapse. So it's very, very tough situation for them. Now Mountain Soul point for Team Secret. They had so much control in this mid lane, as you pointed out, so they could just put one member down to the Mountain Drake, just let him solo it, just leave your smite around the Baron area, so there's no quick Baron rush coming out by the side of Cerberus. And if there would happen to be a fight, they would also be ready for that, as Post's many, as the 4 members from Secret are around it. Those 4-man squads are maybe even stronger than the 5-man squad of Cerberus would be, as they are so far ahead right now. And like this, Team Secret just got the Mountain Drake for free. A little bit of a standoff right now. The only thing Cerberus really got there was a little bit more time for Artemis on the side to finish the third item, which is actually the Lord Dominic's Regards. Maybe the best DPS item for an AD carry to build right now. And he's on 3 items, Yasuo's on 3 items. There's a slight chance that they can just out-teamfight Team Secret, but it's still very doubtful against all these advantages that Team Secret got accelerated for their own side over the whole course of the map.
Boss just transformed to Mini, so bit of a back and forth in the mid lane. Neither side really wanting to give an inch. I think Cerberus in a dangerous position of, if they group up, that gives the go to Penguin to make that combo happen. And Team Secret, there's no more Scuttle Crab, so they feel a little bit better, but that ward on the pit will spot them. Can Leash do it again? I feel like Team Secret have to be a little bit better in controlling their burst this time.
They definitely do.
Comes out. Here comes the flash! It goes in. They can't quite pop Artemis. They can't quite pop anyone instantly, but Leash goes down on the side. Artemis doing his best, trying to kite it out, but he can't do it. Yado over the wall. Can Eddie follow? Not quite. Poss will interfere, and overall, Cerberus are running away. Poss will eventually fall down to the lick. And that is a massive win for the side of Cerberus. It's only 2 kills, but the health is so much damage done that they cannot defend this Baron.
Cerberus can't defend this Baron. The jungler is down, the top lane is down. No possible front line either way on their own there. Team Secret can just take the way this Baron. Huge collapse with the Moonfall coming in. Diana Yasuo component really working out wonders for them. And this will be the Baron, which will also slightly translate over to this Mountain Soul point for them, as there will be still some seconds left up when they are taking it. And I mean, even on the way to it, they can just easily get priority in all 3 lanes, can just get maybe even gold for this open inhibitor. And if they find a good angle for a fight there, they can just end the game right there.
Yeah, and here we
see the
go.
fight again.
Here's the replay.
Yeah, they just pressed all R buttons and then just Cerberus lost 2 members. They tried to disengage it with the Emperor's Divide. Also, Artemis escaping towards the east side of the map. Also, they're kind of lucky in that sense that they actually managed to get 3 members out, only Poss and Leash dying. But it was just the whole Wombo combo working out wonders for the side of Secret. Cerberus had to fight into it, and they were left for a losable situation, basically. And if you do, then if you don't, you have to contest the Baron, but if you do, exactly this happens.
And now we might have to see a bit of replay. It's the grand entrance with that charm. The quickness coming in, and it may be too caught out, but actually there's a Su Hao there to gobble it up and defend Team Secret. They meant for a last chance. They went for a hurrah, and they got nothing. Poss is going to have to limp away, and without Leash, without Hubert, they can't threaten and engage, and now they just have to try their best to stall out this Baron siege. Yado's not going to be nearly as effective up against his Baron buff, and this may be enough as Artifact just goes in, following Hero onto Yado. They are definitely going to take him down this time. Poss will surely fall. Artemis is doing his best to kite away. He'll get one back onto Hero, but the damage is done. The base is cracked, and they are going for the end. No, they're not.
Secret just trading Hero for the game there, or maybe not going, maybe not the game, but maybe just 2 inhibitors going down. And it's kind of sad to see, right?
Nope.
Because Cerberus chose this fight. They go for the full engagement, they just kind of try to bite through concrete and just bite their teeth out basically, lose leash instantly, and also Huber dying in the skirmish. But now Team Secret's still going for the push. I mean, Poss and Yano still have huge death timers, the wave clear basically gone. And
Oh, they got
going for the
Artemis!
push.
There's the knockdown, there's the kill from Visana onto Artemis, and with that it's leash alone, and that is not gonna be anything for Team Secret as they take the series. Hard fought, it was a nail biter game 1, but from there it felt Team Secret, baby, all the way.
It gave